We welcome you to Spokane, Washington, and the race to the postseason is on. Just 5 matches remain in the 25-26 Gainbridge Super League season. And today from Spokane, we have an all-time goalkeeper matchup. On one side for Spokane, it's the all-time saves leader, Hope Heisey, closing in on 150 in her career. And on the other side, Caitlin Park, she's coming for that spot. She's already set a single-season record for clean sheets this season with 10. First place Sporting JAX brings its 7-match unbeaten streak almost 3,000 miles to the northwest to take on Spokane Zephyr FC, who remains right in the thick of things in the race for the Gainbridge Super League playoffs. Alongside Renee Waddington, I'm Josh Appel, and let's take a look at the aforementioned Gainbridge Super League standings brought to you by White Claw. So we've got 2 teams who have for sure locked down their spots in the postseason, Sporting JAX and Lexington. Carolina and Dallas playing right now. They're in stoppage time. Carolina leads 1-0 in an 89th minute goal from Riley Bazin. So that's great news for Spokane Zephyr, as they right now sit 6 points back of that final playoff spot. And for Jacksonville, Sporting JAX this season, Renee, 14 wins after a 4-1 victory last week over Fort Lauderdale, a new Gainbridge Super League record.
And this group started off this season 3-3-3 through the end of October. They've been 11-1-2 since then, outscoring their opponents 31-5 in that stretch. Sporting JAX has had one of the best defenses, but they've also been supported by one of the best offenses, leading the league in scoring, sitting plus 24 in goal differential. Different playmakers helping them find the back of the net and consistently get results.
You mentioned the different playmakers. How about the fantastic 4 for Sporting JAX? Puerta, Kenton, DeSmit, and Hughes. You see those 3 at the bottom, tied for first in a league with 7 assists. The first one of those 3 to get to 8 will set a new league record.
And much like the Fantastic Four, they each have a different skill set, making them statistically the most dangerous attacking group across the league. Top of the league in scoring and assists, as you mentioned, but you can't just key in on one player. They have 29 goals combined, 22 assists. The team has 48 goals this season, and they've been making history, and there could be more history made tonight.
And so for Spokane Zephyr, it's been an up and down season, but here's what's in front of them. 5 matches to go, including today. All 5 will be at home. They sit 6 points out of the final playoff spot. They can do a lot of damage to close out the season.
And Spokane defensively has been great. Top 4 in the league with 7 shutouts. They're tough to score on, but offensively, lowest scoring team across the league. So back at home, this is a huge opportunity. If they're going to make that push for the playoff, that final playoff spot, it starts today back at home.
Our player to watch tonight for Spokane Zephyr, Tori Zerenberg, the Pepperdine alum. She was on the Gainbridge Super League Team of the Month in March.
Tori Zerenberg, with 3 goals, 2 assists, has been a key contributor to this team. Defensively, starts their high press. Offensively, a big piece with the run she makes. Excels at being able to stretch their front line, gets into wide pockets, and also part of a group trying to generate more consistent scoring. As they need more production, Tori Zerenberg is one of those players that can help them get that done.
So it's the 3rd and final meeting between Spokane Zephyr and Sporting Club Jacksonville. We'll have lineups and kick coming up next from the Pacific Northwest, right here on Peacock.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
Almost time for kick. Spokane Zephyr FC playing host to Sporting JAX. Tonight's match is brought to you by White Claw, distributed by the Odom Corporation. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you as we take a look at our starting 11s tonight. For head coach Nicole Lukic and Spokane Zephyr, here's how they will line up a few changes.
Yes, definitely throughout. Now, Hope Heisey gets to start at net. That is the same, but their entire front three is different. Kat Rapp, Katie Murray, and Maya Hansen getting the nod up front. And then also Charlie Boone gets to start on the back line, replacing Kelsey Euler, Sophia Braun, Sarah McCoy, as well as their leading scorer, Elena Solano.
And for Sporting JAX and their head coach, Stacey Ballum, the #1 team in Gainbridge Super League.
No changes for Sporting JAX in their starting 11 coming into today. Something to keep an eye on, Parker Roberts, who does get her second consecutive start. They are still easing her back to 100%. She anchors their back line at center back in front of Caitlin Parks. She will not probably go the full 90, but everybody else in that 3-5-2 is the exact same, and expectations are the same for this group.
There's Bailey DeSmit. She had a brace against Fort Lauderdale last week to give her 9 goals on the season. Paige Kenton and Ashlyn Puerta both in double digits. The only team in the league to have 2 double-digit scores. There's our referee this evening, Kelsey Harms. As she always does, Caitlin Parks will take the opening kick to get us underway. And she sends it deep and out. Saw this against Fort Lauderdale last week, and immediately Sporting JAX 1 possession in the attacking third. Thanks so much for being with us tonight, Josh Appel. Renee Washington with you.
Definitely deja vu, Josh. The exact same placement for Caitlin Parks off that initial kick. The deep throw-in last game allowed Sporting JAX to get numbers forward and win the ball back, something that they've been using to their strength on how they want to start off the half.
Seven consecutive matches unbeaten for Sporting JAX. They are 6-0-1. Their only loss since October 31st came on February 7th, 1-0 to DC. They've got a league-high 19 goals over this stretch that started on February 11th. And so we mentioned in the open, Carolina and Dallas, they were heading towards stoppage time, and a late 89th minute goal by Riley Bazin for Carolina clinched a playoff spot for Carolina Ascent. So the top 3 are locked in the Gainbridge Super League table. Just 1 playoff spot left to be obtained. Dallas hanging on to that spot, but teams like DC Power, teams like Spokane Zephyr, they've got an opening. DC out of the final playoff spot by 3 points, Spokane by 6. A huge opportunity with 5 games remaining, including today at home, for Spokane to make up that ground.
Dallas outshot Carolina 23-6 in that game, yet lost 1-0. Anything is possible in this league, but there were a lot of cheers, I'm sure, throughout when that goal happened late that Carolina was able to score.
There was a potential chance that Sporting Club Jacksonville would have been able to clinch home field depending on that result in Dallas, but Carolina spoiled all of that. But again, for Spokane Zephyr, that's the result that they were hoping for.
And that's the key for Sporting JAX. You don't get a chance to clinch today, but you know a win today can help get you one step closer. Spokane definitely needing a result today. And for everyone, there's just 1 spot left now that everyone's jockeying for. So the pressure is on to see who can be refined enough to handle the handle that pressure, be poised through it, and get results.
Sporting JAX on the move. Coming off of a 4-1 win at Fort Lauderdale. Down on the end line. Played out in front, cleared away nicely by Spokane. And now Zephyr. Zerenberg, who we highlighted in the open. Team of the month in March. Back for Hope Heisey. I mean, it does not get any better than this goalkeeper matchup in Spokane tonight. With Hope Heisey, the all-time leader in saves. She's 6 away from 150 in her career. And Caitlin Parks, who is setting all types of goalkeeping records on the other side for Sporting JAX.
Well, the goalkeeper matchup just adds a little extra razzle-dazzle to this game that already has so much in terms of contingencies and implications on the line.
And that rolls all the way over the end line for a goal kick. It's time for our keys to the game, presented by Ford.
Starting with Spokane, it's attacking versatility. They've spoken a lot about their abilities to get out in transition, and that's definitely been a strong point, but they don't want to rely on that. Want to be poised enough and patient if it's not on to go quickly to reset, recycle, and keep it. On the other side for Sporting JAX, it's discipline in possession. For head coach Sophia Bowman mentioned, even with their 4-1 win, they felt careless and loose in possession at times, and they want to make sure controlling the tempo, controlling possession leads to their direct identity. So they want to do a better job of avoiding those careless stretches to take care of the ball when they have it.
Cole Lukic, in her first season, took over back in the fall after a 2-2-4 start under interim head coach Josh McAllister, who's still involved with Spokane. Lukic, formerly with the U.S. Youth National Team program. So, had an excellent run as the head coach of Minnesota Aurora FC and USLW, and she brought in a handful of her players here to Spokane. But she told us the bye week they had last week, they last played on April 4th against Dallas. She said it came at an excellent time for them, a nice mental reset. They had a friendly against Washington State, so they were able to get some players some minutes that will help with their development. But as you pointed out, they're very focused on their attack. It's been up and down this season, and they are not happy with how they performed against Dallas a couple of weeks ago.
And I was on that broadcast, and they defended most of the game, and that's something they cannot afford to do. I mean, just about 31% possession in their favor.
This one floated towards goal. Heisey out to play it.
But here's what you don't want. You don't want Hope Heisey so actively involved. You have to get your offense going. Against a team like Sporting JAX, you cannot defend for 90 minutes. You have to find ways to sustain possession. And that's something they've struggled with at stretches in the season. When it's great, it looks fantastic, including the draw against Sporting JAX earlier this season. But they've had some stumbles in games they felt like they should have been able to get a result or just play better.
Felicia Knox, who scored in the 1-1 draw against Sporting JAX at the end of March, on it for Spokane. Now it's Tappan. And a whistle, and the flag was up for offside. Tonight's injury report is brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. Vigiano and Lester remain out. Lester getting closer, nursing an ankle injury. Stacey Ballum said they hope to have her back for the postseason, but it's a week-by-week thing. It is progressing, though.
Well, something else to keep an eye on. These are two teams that are very good defensively.
Bad giveaway. Here comes Spokane with an opportunity, and it's put wide. Maya Hansen had the lead on her foot. And when you go up against the #1 team in the league, these are the chances you have to take advantage of.
You have to finish this. A great job by Emma Jaskinek to be able to find Maya Hansen and immediately connect the pass off of the ball one. And then a good touch here by Hansen to shift and had a wide open lane. Just misses the goal entirely. And head coach Nicole Lukic mentioned to us earlier this week, Josh, that this team in Spokane has consistently had a goal-scoring opportunity in the first 5 minutes in recent outings that they have not scored. That's come back to haunt them, and wanting to do a better job of being more clinical to finish and take advantage of those chances. That was the chance right there. That's an unfortunate miss for Spokane.
Hansen making her first start of the season, nearly made her mark. She signed for the spring, one of Nicole Lukic's former players with Minnesota Aurora. Here's Zerenberg. Now Tappan, who leads the team in minutes, fires one, and it missed the target, and it's out for a goal kick. If Spokane ends up falling today, that'll be one that they'll look back on as a moment where they maybe could have gained control. You know, you look at their home record this season, Renee, just 3-5-1. But Jacksonville's making a nearly 3,000-mile trip for this match. They were already on the road last week against Fort Lauderdale United. This should be an advantage for Spokane Zephyr, welcoming the team in from Florida on 2 weeks rest.
And that's the key for Spokane. They're that West Coast group that everyone has to make the big trek out to. And so although they do it every away game when they're traveling to the East Coast, that is an advantage when they have a home game. And that could be the slight advantage today. It's also slightly cooler than usual, even though it doesn't look it. But
good ball in, but comes to Heisey before anybody from Sporting JAX can make a play on it.
But the key for Spokane, to go back to that point and finish it, Josh, is you have to be able to take advantage of the advantage that you have when you are the home team for Spokane. And if you're going to catch Sporting JAX flat a little bit, maybe some travel legs, you have to punish them. And those types of chances moving forward, Spokane has to lock in on finishing.
Sporting JAX have conceded the second fewest goals in the league this season. They do not give up very many opportunities. Fort Lauderdale, although they did score once, their XG was below 1 in their home game a week ago against this Sporting JAX side. Smeckrud will throw in. She's been a welcome addition to this club since coming in the spring.
Yeah, helped set up for their early goal against Fort Lauderdale last game. A good flank player for them, and that's something about Sporting JAX. As much as we highlight the Fantastic Four and even Caitlin Parks in net with her incredible season she's having, they have a lot of other pieces that really contribute consistently for them.
Paige Kenton tried to win that, but it's out for a goal kick. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, the Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Top House, Konala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Heisey leads the league in saves for the second consecutive season. Puts it in the air. Same situation as last week on the back line for Sporting JAX. Philpotts, Illig, and Roberts. Spokane Zephyr supporters.
Well, what's interesting is Spokane did elect to come out with a more aggressive lineup, starting in a 3-4-3 today versus last game against Dallas where they were in a 4-5-1, so pushing some numbers higher up and also just wanting to play more aggressively. Of course, offense has been the focus for this team that's been very defensively strong, so they need to see if in this early going, can they find that success, get a rhythm of keeping it, possessing like they're doing right now.
Felicia Knox. This is Murray. Murray got dispossessed, but it comes out for Zerenberg. Zerenberg with the left foot. What a strike! An absolute banger! Tori Zerenberg has Spokane Zephyr in front in the early going.
Tori Zerenberg, we highlighted her in the open, what she can do as a playmaker for this group. That first chance getting forward, no good, but how about Zerenberg able to recollect the sets up for a beautiful touch across her left and then drives it back post, top shelf. Hello, Tori Zerenberg, putting Spokane on the scoreboard in a very important game for playoff positioning. That's how you need to lean on your playmakers and scorers like Zerenberg able to do there.
There is no chance for Caitlin Parks on that one. That is just an unbelievable shot with great placement And Zerenberg, who we highlighted in the open, breaks the ice in Spokane this evening. Remember, Spokane entered tonight 6 points back of that final playoff spot held by Dallas. They can move to within 3 if they gain all 3 points tonight. But you know Sporting JAX will have something to say about it. The cross towards the back post, that's over everybody. We were just talking about the back line for Sporting JAX. Zerenberg was all alone right at the edge of the area. Remember, they're without Georgia Brown. She's on international duty. We mentioned Julia Lester out with her injury. So again, it's Philpotts, Illig, and Roberts. Did a good job together as a trio last week.
Well, this is where for Spokane, the adjustment of a 3-4-3 going up against a 3-back that Sporting JAX is playing with does give you some opportunity to overload spaces in your attack. And to your point, Tori Zerenberg wide open, able to just collect that second chance opportunity.
From distance, Sporting JAX trying to answer. That was Kenton on the shot attempt. It took a deflection off Spokane Zephyr, so it is the first corner of the match for Sporting JAX. This is the ICCU Corner Kick, your financial success fan club.
Well, Sporting JAX just continues to stay unfazed. The one good thing, you give up an early goal, lots of time to work with. They immediately huddled up and they're back on the attack now.
Bowman plays it in, the header. Missed the target, out for a goal kick. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. Please visit our website at www.windermerefoundation.co. Correction, windermerefoundation.com.
Good job, Josh. Just making sure people are paying attention. But listen,
I like to keep the viewers on their toes.
Keeping them on their toes. Listen, we also are just doing our part to keep everybody locked in. I will say for Spokane, though, talk about capitalizing. I know we were highlighting what head coach Nicole Lukic was mentioning about putting away those early chances. They have generated 3 shots in the first 12 minutes. In the first 12 minutes, including that goal. And you look at those shots, one went in, one nearly went wide, and a decent shot from distance. So they have to, though, maintain that high level, because after scoring the goal, you can't take your foot off the gas. This is a very high-scoring offense in Sporting JAX, and one goal is not enough to just pack it home with.
That's the second goal that Sporting JAX have conceded to Spokane since the spring started. That's only the 4th goal they've given up. 2 of them have been to Spokane Zephyr, and again, this is the 3rd matchup between these 3 teams, and 2 very different performances from Spokane in the 2. The first one, a 3-0 defeat at the hands of Sporting JAX. The second one was a 1-1 draw, but that second match, the weather conditions were a huge factor. 40-mile-per-hour winds, but the results all count the same. And Spokane earned a draw, 1-1, back at the end of March.
Well, I think a big part is just the matchup. These 2 match up in favor of Spokane, it appears, because of just the way I think they're both so similarly defensive-oriented that I think it allows Spokane to withstand the attacks that Sporting JAX brings.
Hansen, good hustle, keeps that alive, but the pass eluded Ginger Fontenot, and Sporting JAX able to recover it.
Well, we are seeing a better job for Spokane getting numbers forward. That's been an area they've struggled with, even in their last game, of sometimes attacking with 1 or 2. So you see a quicker switch into offense has been helping them out of, at least, even if they're unable to sustain possession, getting numbers forward to win it back or keep it higher up the pitch. Similarly to actually the goal that Tori Zerenberg scored, of just getting numbers higher.
Puerta, we talk about how deep this Sporting JAX team is. 4 goals last week. She did not factor in on any of them. And yet it was a comfortable 4-1 win. This is deflected. Popped up into the air. Smeckrud battling with Zerenberg. And sent away by Spokane. Parker Roberts, second consecutive start after returning from that ACL injury. Sophia Bowman was very happy with her performance against Fort Lauderdale last week. But at the same time, that back three was a bit disappointed in the goal they conceded. But that's the sign of a team that has high standards, one that's built to win in the postseason. That when you, I don't want to say coast, because they certainly earned that 4-1 win, but when you win a match scoring 4 goals, only conceding 1, that sticks in your craw a little bit, that one that avoided the clean sheet.
And I think that's a big part for Sporting JAX that has been their backbone of how they're able just to keep going. And I know we asked about complacency and ways they're trying to work through that, and it's them understanding, you know, with every game, they're focusing on the one that's in front of them. They're not focusing and looking back and getting too high on the celebrations and accomplishments, because those games are over. So even with the amount of records they're setting as a team and individually, they're always focused on one game at a time. And that means, can we get a clean sheet? Can we win? All the little things they want to make sure to get right. So I'm sure they're not thrilled that they have back-to-back games now that they've conceded a goal.
Over this long stretch since the 4-2 loss to Lexington back in October. Get to that in a moment. This one sails high over goal and out for a goal kick. 9 clean sheets in the 14 games since the end of October. As we take one more look at this opportunity, it was Meg Hughes who tied her 2 teammates with her 7th assist of the season last week.
And Meg Hughes just putting her head down, getting forward down that left side, and a good wide angle to try to drive that shot back across. Had Spokane defenders draped on her and still able to handle it well. Something to keep an eye on. Since that goal has been scored, we've seen a lot of play up on this end of the field. Spokane heavily under some pressure. They haven't been giving up as many shots on goal, as Sporting JAX is still looking for that first, but they have been around the net, keeping possession, getting forward a lot more.
Elite Minds. Unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today.
You just see Caitlin Parks continuing to get forward and getting some touches. Sometimes as a goalie, you want to just, especially after giving up a goal, not that I was a goalie, I was on the other side, you want to get some successful touches to get involved, to shake off that mistake, because that was the first real chance she saw come her way, and it went in. So I think that's part of her just staying higher, staying involved, staying engaged.
Roberts wearing that sleeve on her right leg. Moves it for Maggie Illig. Sophie Jones. Now Puerta. Smeckrud. Out for a throw. Zerenberg's had a really strong start, obviously, to this match. The goal. And her defending has been rock solid as well.
That's a big part of what she brings. I know Coach Lukic mentioned it before. She's just such a high-engine defender. Look, you see how much pressure she brings to help them press.
Puerta. Washed by Tappan. Wide for Smeckrud. Plays it in. Zerenberg helps with the clear. It is yet another Sporting JAX throw.
And this is what they do, just coming at you in waves, one player after the next, that it's hard to clear and get it forward, because Sporting JAX just gets so many players forward, wins it back, and they also just slowly pick you apart. They're not a team that rushes. They take their time to get quality chances, and if it's not on, they have the patience to recycle. But everyone's getting touches, getting involved, as they're slowly carving up a team's defense.
Philpott's tried to carry all the way in. Dealt with well by Spokane, who lead 1-0 on the goal by Tori Zerenberg, that you'll be seeing Quite a bit on social media this week, I would imagine. Going to be a Goal of the Week nominee.
Definitely think that it is going to be one we're seeing pretty often. I don't know if it's going to get to Kat Berry level of SportsCenter top 10, but if for a goal to be scored of that caliber, a drilled shot back post against Sporting JAX, who hasn't given up a lot of goals in general recently, it's going to be shared pretty frequently if Spokane can hold on to this lead.
Cat Rapp with the foul and the yellow as Illig went down. Rapp is making her second start and 5 appearances. You mentioned Kat Berry. She's up to 15 goals this season after a brace, her 5th of the season this weekend. Hat-trick, excuse me. She's had a handful of multi-goal efforts this season, a new Gainbridge Super League record for goals in a season, and she's given herself some separation between her and Ashlyn Puerta for that golden boot. She's got 15 now to Puerta's 11. Kenton, end line, and that is going to be a goal kick.
Sporting JAX, and you see Ashlyn Puerta there just contesting it a bit. Wanted a different call there. For Sporting JAX at this point of the season, this is the tricky part they have to manage. And I know they've talked so much about how they just keep the right mindset. They have such a bullseye on their back. And so every game, before you even get to the playoffs, you're getting teams' bests. You're getting teams that want to be the ones to knock them off, that are going to want to bring the intensity and the aggression, because playing Sporting JAX is like your championship for any team at this stretch of the season. And so this is where they have to manage the emotions to make sure they're not getting frustrated, especially if a call doesn't go their way or a missed opportunity, to just stay focused on the task at hand.
Well, there's not been a lot of adversity that Sporting JAX has faced this season because they have been so dominant. And for both sides, a great test in that regard. You know that Spokane Zephyr is trying to rally to make the postseason, but with all these matches at home to finish the season, as Zerenberg can't get to it. Great play by Illig to force the throw in. But can Spokane Zephyr protect this lead against the league's best as they push for the postseason? It's like a playoff match every week as you get one more look at Maggie Illig's effort. And we're very pleased with her, the Michigan State alum.
Yeah, the longer that 4th and final playoff spot stays available, the more each game becomes like a play-in game across the league of teams still fighting for something, to see if they can get above the playoff line, to see if they can get a home playoff game. There's so much more that's still up for grabs. And most importantly, regardless where you finish in that top 4, if you make it, you want to make sure you're playing your best soccer. You can't get complacent, and that's something Sporting JAX has spoken heavily about. They're not happy and complacent with just the records they're setting. That's great. They'll celebrate that at an end-of-the-year awards banquet. But bigger picture is they want to make sure they're getting the biggest goal checked off, which is to win a title. You know,
it's funny that you mentioned that, because we asked Stacey Ballum how they celebrated the record. Well, first of all, she didn't find out that they set the new record until the post-game huddle when they were told. And then you asked, well, what was your celebration like? And she said, I'm sorry to disappoint, but it was a bit anticlimactic. And they know they have bigger business and bigger fish to fry in front of them the rest of the way.
It's perspective. You're not celebrating the record if you're going for the title.
Absolutely right. This one played towards goal. COR Institute is your wellness playground. Appreciate them and their partnership.
What we are seeing for Sporting JAX, they're showing us their wide flank ability, getting numbers forward to get some services into the box, and they also are getting good numbers into the box. I think a little bit of the same run on that last cross, that both players were in the same spot of the back 6. But they just continue right now in terms of possession to keep it, to get forward. And that is something that could be troublesome for Spokane. They're winning the aerial duels. They're winning the 50-50 balls.
Just don't know how sustainable it is to sit back and defend Sporting JAX for another hour plus.
Well, I was trying to find the exact number, but 68% possession in favor of Sporting JAX. To your point, that's really difficult to do for the remainder of the game, to just defend like this at this high of a clip.
Fontenot with the foul on Hughes. You look at the remaining schedule, you mentioned that each game from here on out for Spokane Zephyr is essentially like a playoff match. Of course, every game in this league and every matchup is difficult. But you look at what's in front of them. Fort Lauderdale, Lexington, DC, and Brooklyn. And those are 4 winnable games as Puerta gathers in. Tappan watches her. Puerta carries, plays it up top for Kenton. Kenton tried to give it back to Puerta, but instead gives for Smekrud, who crosses in. Headed away by Spokane, kept alive. Philpotts. Kenton making the run, bumps into Heisey. And cooler heads prevail. No whistle. Just a play on the ball there from Hope Heisey.
And well done there by Hope Heisey, as Kenton was able to spring forward 3 different Spokane defenders there. You have to make sure you're tracking your runner and cannot allow Paige Kenton to run towards your goalie wide open. That ball was played into some dangerous territory.
Kenton, it deflects off of her, and Zerenberg able to get rid of it. Fontenot trying to keep in along the touchline, but it's out for a Sporting JAX throw.
Just wonder, as we keep saying, how long can you weather the storm? Spokane, a good defensive unit, but this is a lot of services that they're giving up.
Kenton couldn't make a play on that. Well marked. As Jaskinek.
That's unfortunate to just lose that and give it right back. This is where Sporting JAX does such a good job of just smothering you and making it tough to transition forward.
Hughes curls it. Heisey catches. Now, one thing to keep in mind with Spokane Zephyr at home with this advantage, the difference in elevation from Jacksonville to Spokane, Washington, as Zerenberg chases this down. Jacksonville way up there in elevation, 3 feet. They're at 1,843 feet above sea level here in Spokane. So we'll see if that becomes a factor at some point for Stacey Ballum's side visiting here the Pacific Northwest.
Just a 1,840 foot difference. You
Math!
know. There, I did it. Well, Spokane needing to elevate their game right now for sure, because if they're a team, as we talked about, that relies so heavily on transition play, and Sporting JAX is great defensively in transition, something has to give. And Spokane, fortunate to be able to draw off of the run forward by Tori Zerenberg, this set piece out wide. They need that next piece to be able to help them build some momentum, keep the ball, and see if they are able to sustain more possession higher up the field. It's a good wide angle for them to be able to drive this one across into that gap between Caitlin Parks and the back line of Sporting JAX.
Reese Tappan and Zerenberg. Zerenberg with the drive-by. Tappan plays it in. Hansen got a piece of it. She's going to track it down. Back in the direction of Parks, and she cuts in front of Cat Rapp and grabs it. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food, open 7 days a week.
Well, that's back-to-back chances across the box for Spokane. You just have to make sure that final service is not dropping into the hands of Caitlin Parks, but into a position that Spokane can run onto it and see if they're able to get something out of it, to at least get a shot or a chance towards goal.
Oof. That can't feel good.
Yeah, there's one that wakes you up a little bit.
Cat Rapp who scored her first professional goal late in the match against Dallas back on April 4th.
And that was a great goal that Cat Rapp scored. And then I love that as soon as she scored the goal, she went and grabbed the ball out the net and was tussling with a Dallas player to make sure to quickly get the ball to reset. You love to see that feisty, just aggression, gamesmanship by a talent in Cat Rapp that's growing and raising in the depth chart of what she's providing for Spokane.
Yeah, players like Allie Cook, Lena Solano, Cam Tucker, all available off the bench tonight. That's usually who we see in the starting 11 up top. But we knew that after the performance in Dallas, Nicole Lukic wanted to shake things up a little bit. And she certainly did, and her team has rewarded her with a 1-0 lead to this point. Hughes floats it. Heisey catches once again. She's been right on it through the first half hour plus.
And she's had to do a good amount so far to start this game, especially off of the flank services, just doing a good job to anticipate them well, cut down the angle and beat Sporting JAX to it first.
Illig calmly plays it for Caitlin Parks, who really had no shot on the goal from Tori Zerenberg. It was that well placed and that well struck.
Well, Josh, we've talked about the goalie matchup, and Hope Heisey's had a much tougher day so far of the volume of what she's faced. For the most part, Caitlin Parks has had everything come to her feet. The only difference, that impressive strike by Tori Zerenberg. So, would you rather have the high volume? Of course, if it means you have a shutout.
This squeaks through. Chased down by Spokane. And out for a throw. DeSmit, a brace last week, turns. DeSmit creates space, plays it in front. Heisey deflected, and then it's finished off. Sophia Bowman. She scored earlier this season against Spokane. She does it again. It's 1-1.
This is a controversial play that Spokane wanted that to be a handball or out of bounds. How about Bailey DeSmit here? Boop, boop. Quick two-touch through the legs and out the other way, and then drives this one perfectly along the 6, able to get bodies into the box to finish this and squeezes it right past Hope Heisey. And then Sophia Bowman finishes her run to finish the chance. The creativity by Bailey DeSmit there to be able to find Ashlyn Puerta and Sophia Bowman making the run, and then Bowman to be able to finish it. Well done.
4 goals in 5 games for Sophia Bowman. She had her 3-game goal streak snapped last weekend against Fort Lauderdale, and it's a brand new game here in the first half.
We kept saying, how much longer could Spokane withstand this pressure that Sporting JAX is bringing? Now with the game back even, Spokane needing some of a boost. At home, tie game, must-win game, all the contingencies and storylines.
Spokane still very much alive for that 4th and final playoff spot after Dallas's loss earlier. But remember, Dallas would have the tiebreaker if they finish level in points. And there are a couple other layers to that Carolina win. Again, an 89th minute goal from Riley Baisden gave them a 1-0 victory over Dallas Trinity. Tampa Bay still alive The defending champions not eliminated yet, and Sporting JAX will have to wait at least another week to clinch home field throughout the postseason.
I'm sure if we asked anybody for Sporting JAX, they'll say, well, that just means we're clinching next week, not this week. This group is just focusing on winning games, and whichever way that home field clinch happens for them, I'm sure they're probably not even thinking about it, as they weren't even thinking about the single season win record.
Think back to that Sophia Bowman goal. Hope Heisey kicking herself. She'd love to have that one back. She had the cross go right through her hands, and the net was wide open for Bowman to finish it off. But can Murray do something here for Spokane? Zerenberg played it a little bit too far for the give and go. Out for a goal kick. Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select is the player's choice.
Well, going back to that goal, we talked about the amount of services that Hope Heisey had come out to save, and you have to think one was bound to break through eventually at that high of a volume. Just unfortunate to your point that she was there, near post, played it well. Here's what Spokane needs, especially to close out this half. They've defended heavily throughout. They need to be able to generate some possession of their own.
Wrap on Roberts. It's young Spokane Zephyr club. Knox for Fontenot. Back for Knox. She scored against Sporting JAX in that 1-1 draw at the end of March. Curled in, headed away, kept alive. And that's just through. Smekrud in tight quarters with Illig. One back by Haley Thomas, who's wearing the captain's armband this evening.
This is where Spokane can lean on their strong defense to help get their offense going.
Hansen had a great chance earlier, pops it over the top. Is this the moment for Spokane? Good block on the attempt from Jaskinek, and it is out for a Spokane corner.
Some nifty combination play here with Maya Hansen, just scoops it right into Emma Jaskinek perfectly so that she's able to run onto it. Looked like it was a highlight reel goal coming our way before Sporting JAX was able to stifle it.
ICCU Corner Kick, your financial success fan club.
Set pieces, typically a difference maker. Spokane needing some of that corner kick luck right now.
Whipped in. Nearly went in itself. Just curled out past that far post. Jaskinek was in the area as well.
A great ball, and look at this angle of being able to take another look at that corner kick played in by Felicia Knox. Curled it into the back post perfectly. A little bit of help from Jaskinek, was almost able to connect on it. A nice flurry of chances for Spokane on this last couple of sequences to be able to get forward, though. That's something that they needed.
(1-1). Zerenberg and Bowman, the goal scorers. Zerenberg. Not sure if she meant to do that, but it was nifty anyways. Plays it across, but nobody was making the run to the back post.
Well done by Tori Zerenberg. We're gonna say she did this on purpose. A little hesitation move, a little stop and go fake, spinorama, go towards the end line, and then drives it across out of the reach of Caitlin Parks, but not into the reach of a teammate. Well done by Tori Zerenberg. That's a couple of plays though, Josh, we've seen from Spokane, getting numbers forward, able to connect and link their midfielders and even their backs into their attack. Just that final pass has been off the mark, where they haven't been on the same page of the pass and the runner, and that's honestly been the difference maker for some of these nice buildups, keeping them from even getting a shot on goal from it.
Time winding down in this first half. Bad giveaway, Felicia Knox. That was touch to nobody. Jaskinek steps up. Hughes moves it along. Philpotts, long for Kenton. And the race is won by Haley Thomas. The Gainbridge Super League playoffs are beginning to take shape. To stay up to date on all the latest information, analysis, and insight, visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com. Sporting JAX trying to make it 2 in this first half with a late goal. Dangerous moment. That shot was blocked and never got towards the target. It is out though for an ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club.
Well, after a corner kick opportunity and chances by Spokane on the other end, now it's Sporting JAX returning the favor, getting a corner kick of their own.
Cleared away well by Spokane. That's played toward Heisey. She had to climb the ladder, full extension to grab it. Puts it in play immediately. Hansen on it.
Hope Heisey through traffic, able to really outstretch tall there. Looked like she grew a few inches to catch that one.
Stoppage time is presented by Rosar's Supermarkets. 1 minute of stoppage time in the first half. Nearly rolled through for a chance. Smekrud though on it. And Sporting JAX can clear. Spokane Zephyr throw coming. Awaiting the whistle from Kelsey Harms. Pinballs around, and there is a whistle for a foul, I believe, and not the end of the half. Bowman, the goal scorer, went down for Sporting JAX.
Just adding a little extra as we're nearing the end of this first half for both teams to take into the locker room. A little final intensity of some scrappling for the ball there.
And there is the whistle for halftime. 1-1 after 45 minutes. Tori Zerenberg in the 12th. Sophia Bowman in the 36th. A valiant effort in the first half by Spokane Zephyr.
Definitely great for them to come out and score first. For Spokane, trying to get above the playoff line, that's exactly the start you wanted, of a near goal scoring chance and then to finish a goal at the 12-minute mark. But after defending heavily and conceding a goal, they seem like they did wake up at the end of that first half, Josh, just needing to see if they can put together a full 45 to close out this game.
Sporting Club Jacksonville 9-1-1 on the road this season. Spokane Zephyr trying to put a stop to that nice record on the road, and we're joined now by Spokane's goal scorer Tori Zerenberg. Tori, that was a heck of a strike to get you guys on the scoreboard first. How important was the start this evening for you guys?
I think as important as anything, really, we come out firing not only because our fans are giving us that energy, but because we believe we can give ourselves that energy.
Tori, in addition to your goal, you guys had moments. What do you see from the first 45 that you guys need to do to execute in this second half better?
I think just continuing to put our foot on it sometimes and swing it and play it as much as we can to make them tired, as kind of they're doing the same to us. So just possess it because we have the strength to do that, and that gets us more numbers forward to be able to get more numbers in the box.
Tori, thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the goal. It was your 4th of the season, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Tori Zerenberg scored a banger to get Spokane Zephyr on the board first early. Sporting JAX, the #1 team in the league, riding a 7-match unbeaten streak, leveled it towards the end of the half. We're all knotted up at 1 after 45 minutes in Spokane.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Tonight's match is brought to you by White Claw, distributed by the Odom Corporation. 1-1 at the half on Spokane Stadium. Spokane Zephyr and Sporting JAX. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you as we take a look at our news and notes from around Gainbridge Super League. Talked about it all night. Sporting JAX now the single season record holder, 14 victories and counting after their 4-1 win over Fort Lauderdale last week. And a couple of players built for the big moments. Alyssa Walker of DC, Sporting Jax's Paige Kenton, now tied for the league lead with 5 GWGs apiece. And of course, one of the goalkeepers we're watching tonight, Hope Heisey. She's got her sights set on 150 career saves. She's just 6 shy coming into tonight. She made 1 save in the first half. Around the league scoreboard presented by White Claw. Kat Berry, a hat trick in the 4-0 drubbing of Tampa Bay Sun. Lexington locking down that number 2 spot so far. 3 teams have clinched a playoff spot now in Gainbridge Super League thanks to Carolina Ascent's 1-0 dramatic win on the road at Dallas. Riley Basin's 89th minute goal gave them the victory. Scan now and you'll win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Top House, Canala, People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. We'll be back with more after this on Peacock. 1-1 our score at the half.
For more information, please visit their website at www.unicornfoundation.com.
We welcome you back to One Spokane Stadium. 1-1 our score. Spokane Zephyr fighting for its playoff lives against the number 1 team in the league, Sporting JAX, as we take a look at our halftime highlights presented by White Claw.
It was Spokane to get on the scoreboard first. A nice attempt here to get forward that was blocked. Katie Murray's first chance, and then the ball falls perfectly to the feet of Tori Zerenberg, and she does the rest from there. A quick touch here as that missed clearance lands at her feet to reset, gets her hips around it, drives it, and drills that shot back post out of the reach of Caitlin Parks. perfectly into the top shelf to put Spokane on the scoreboard first. And then in the 36-minute mark, it was Sporting JAX off of this throw in some controversy. Spokane wanted the handball, did not get it, play on, and then Billy DeSmit with a quick touch here, just quirks it to herself, gets end line, drives it across. That run by Paige Kenton helps draw enough chaos that Hope Heisey doesn't see the ball. You look again here, Kenton's run here sets up for the miscommunication and a nice tap in there by Sophia Bowman. You finish your run, it sets you up for some tap-in chances as Sporting JAX is able to get good numbers into the box.
Halftime stats brought to you by White Claw. Shot 6-4 in favor of Sporting JAX. Each team with just one on target. Both goals, the possession heavily in favor of Sporting JAX, but Spokane certainly hung in there in the first half.
Spokane had stretches we saw around the goal, so the first 12 minutes and the last 5 minutes were really good for them. And although they were outpossessed at 64-36 margin, much like Tori Zerenberg told us at halftime, if they can string together more, you wonder how that changes the second half tempo.
We're closing in on kick in the second half, a hugely important game as we go down the stretch in the Gainbridge Super League season. 1-1, second half next. Welcome back to Spokane. You can scan the QR code for your chance to win a $100 gift card to Rosar's Supermarkets, the official grocery store of your Spokane Velocity and Zephyr FC. Josh Appel, Renee Washington with you from One Spokane Stadium. 1-1 the score as we begin the second half. Goals in the 12th minute by Tori Zerenberg and in the 36th by Sophia Bowman. No halftime subs for either side as Sporting JAX tries to keep a stranglehold on the #1 spot in Gainbridge Super League, and Spokane Zephyr trying to close the gap to just 3 points for the final playoff spot with 4 games remaining, all at home after today.
And with a lot of work to do in this next 45, when you look at how that first half played out, had opportunities and glimpses, but that's been the struggles for Spokane, that they have been unable to put together consistent games. They need to put together a consistent 45 here at home to get a result.
Fontenot for Felicia Knox. Third and final meeting between these two sides. All came in the spring. A win 3-0 to Sporting JAX and a 1-1 draw at the end of March.
That's the thing. These two teams have had such even an inconsistent history. From 3-0 to 1-1 is very different. There's been some weather. I know you talked on that in the first half. Some weather issues that caused it with gusty winds and different factors. This one, as we're sitting at 1-1, you can see where they're just so similar, especially in their defensive makeup.
Wrap for Murray. Murray into the middle for Knox. Knox chases it down and plays it wide for Tappan. Jaskinik. Murray. Charlie Boone trying to slip it through to Fontenot. Rapp chases after it. Gets there. But it's off of her foot and out for a throw to Sporting JAX.
Well, for Spokane, as they've been able to get their midfielders involved, players like Felicia Knox that have been finding the ball more often to be able to combine with their front three, it's been helping them just to be able to create more pockets to possess through. Have to find in the second half more consistency of linking play through their midfield.
Hansen driven down by Roberts. That's a free kick from just outside the area. And a great opportunity in the early going in the second half for Spokane.
This is a great spot for Spokane. You look here, Hansen just trying to hold the ball up there. A little bit of too much of a stiff arm from Parker Roberts. Fouling, just too aggressive on that play there, trying to work around Hansen. And for Maya Hansen to draw this foul just outside the box, slightly off center. This is a position that as a set piece specialist, you are practicing regularly. You're putting in time on how you can either drive this one back post or have it curling over the wall and duck in near post, which is typically the better option of the two.
It's Zerenberg and it's Knox. Zerenberg scored the goal. And she takes this, trying to curl it, and just missed that far post. Good effort.
Good idea there by Zerenberg. Has that lethal left foot. Put some pace on it. You take a look again. Knox faked like she was going to take it, and then Zerenberg stepped up to the mark. Just unable to get that one on frame. Something that's kind of been the Achilles heel also of Spokane, of getting good chances, set pieces, run of play that haven't been able to get on frame outside of that goal by Zerenberg in the first half.
DeSmit overran it a little. Back to her right. DeSmit teed it up. Was blocked. Zerenberg gets rid of it. Holiday Heating, Cooling, and Electric is giving away a Honeywell Wi-Fi smart thermostat valued at nearly $500. You can scan the QR code now for a chance to win.
Well, already in the second half, we've seen both teams get some good chances. That's what you want in this draw. You would see each team offensively pick things up a level.
Hughes with some space on that left wing. Hughes, the cross, back post. Oh, Smeckrud was there unmarked. All she had to do was get a piece. Sporting JAX would have had the lead.
Inches away. Meg Hughes knocking on the doorstep of an 8th assist, and that one just sails over the thigh of Casey Smeckrud. So close. I almost wonder if she could have just ran through it and let it hit off of her body instead of trying to control that one. But Sporting JAX has continued to put the pressure on in this second half.
Philpotts now. Philpotts, back post through everybody. Her former Brooklyn FC teammate Fontenot was closing in, and she closed in on the 18-yard box. And a goal kick coming for Hope Heisey.
And this is just how Sporting JAX can attack you in waves. It's different players every possession that are racing forward to create services and shots for them. And it's difficult to defend because you think you have one player figured out or one scheme figured out, and then they throw something completely different at you.
Hughes tied for the league lead, 7 assists with her 2 teammates, Kenton and Puerta. It's Hughes. She went for goal, and Heisey climbs to nab that. Heisey came in 6 saves shy of 150 in her career, the all-time saves leader in Gainbridge Super League. Has led the league in saves each of the last 2 seasons.
Well, although Spokane drew first blood to get that set piece outside of the box that Zerenberg took, you think about since then, it's been all things Sporting JAX, back-to-back-to-back chances. Now we're getting a conversation going on as Felicia Knox was involved, a little extracurriculars. But I do think, Josh, this has been kind of the theme of the game so far today. We've seen it in spurts for Spokane, but just in consistent waves for Sporting JAX of the attacking fluidity and chances they've been able to create.
It's Hughes again. They've been playing through her quite a bit to begin this second half. Great ball across. Heavy touch by Smeckrud again. She's back on it though. Smeckrud. Now Kenton takes a deflection right to Heisey.
Sporting JAX had about 4 or 5 players in the box lurking in the neighborhood trying to finish that service across by Meg Hughes, racing numbers forward. And then they just continue to win the ball right back and get back to work.
Looking for Puerta there. Cleared away by Spokane. After an early push from Spokane to begin the second half. It's only been about 8 minutes, but Sporting JAX picking up right where they left off in the first half. A lot of time being spent in that attacking third.
Yes, and we were saying it earlier before they scored their first goal. How long can you withstand this much pressure and this many opportunities? And Spokane defending well, but needing to get something going the other way.
Could this be the moment? Hansen off the turnover. Hansen back to her right. Philpotts closes in on her and earns the ICCU. That should be a corner. Did that not deflect off of Sporting JAX? I guess not.
I guess not, Josh. It looked like it was going to be a corner, but nonetheless, instead, Maya Hansen's work, hard work at that, leads to nothing for Spokane. They have been able to find a good amount of success playing through her. We've seen her helping to hold balls up, connect play, making the runs. So maybe for Spokane, continue to try to feed down that right side to Hansen.
DeSmit finds space. She's dangerous. DeSmit trying to chip Heisey, and to no avail. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane to get all the latest Spokane Zephyr gear.
DeSmit, just a heads-up player. We've seen the awareness of her, understanding where the goal is, where the pockets of space are. It's made her such a good clinical finisher for Sporting JAX.
Race forward in the corner. Zerenberg gets there first. That stays in. Sent forward, Kenton all alone. Paige Kenton denied by Hope Heisey. She's not the all-time leader in saves by accident, Renee. And Hughes with the foul.
What a phenomenal save by Hope Heisey. You look at this ball, Bailey DeSmit puts perfect weight on it to allow Paige Kenton to run onto it. Kenton slowed down a little bit there. I think she may have tried to get a bit too much in her head and overthought it a little. Allowed Hope Heisey to come out and cut down the angle as she slowed down. And Hope Heisey, as you mentioned, by no mistake, as we talk about all-time saves, we're looking at that tracker, and that save was a big one for 145.
That's her first official save of the match. So 5 shy of 150. Hansen moves it along. Zerenberg for Felicia Knox. Knox from distance, knocks off the crossbar. That close for Spokane. Ambitious strike from about 23, 24 yards out.
That's how fast it can swing. We had a near scoring chance for Paige Kenton. Hope Heisey saved, and then Felicia Knox knocking on the door the other way.
Fontenot. Hansen back for Fontenot. Fontenot in front. Here's that Felicia Knox chance one more time. What a strike.
And Spokane has to continue to get Felicia Knox involved. A great shot. You look at this angle here from Felicia Knox. Opens up, has some open green in front of her and able to drive that one in towards the net. The crossbar with the big save to keep this game tied up at 1 apiece.
Fontenot, again the cross, settled down, shot blocked. And then cleared away for the moment. Good pressure here by Spokane.
Spokane just now turning up the heat. They need to make sure they can continue this same level, though, because when they have had their best possessions, it looked really sharp. Some near scoring chances, a crossbar, the goal they had in the first half. But they have to keep this level high.
Thomas, her pass intercepted. Hughes with space. Now it's DeSmit who tries from distance, and it rolls along to Heisey.
Save number 146 for Hope Heisey, and much easier save on that one than 145.
I would say.
Yes. But when you look at this game, this has opened up tremendously on both ends. Back and forth we go, Josh.
Throw in for Sporting JAX. A huge game for Spokane. Trying to knock off the #1 team in the league. And pull within 3 points of that 4th and final playoff spot owned by Dallas Trinity. Kenton. Cuts it back to DeSmit, edge of the area. DeSmit fires! Saved by Heisey again. 147.
Well, it would have been fitting if 146 was a double play, but 147 is the one that we get. Well done by Hope Heisey again to be able to save it and then stick with the rebound.
Out in front, oh, just eluded. Cat Rapp, who tried to make a play on it, as we are closing in on the 1 hour mark at One Spokane Stadium. 7 in a row unbeaten for Sporting JAX. 3 straight winless for Spokane. But they are very much alive in the race for the postseason. And they've turned in a great effort here tonight. And their first of 5 straight road matches to close out the season.
Well, here's the difference. It does look like Spokane is playing a little less cautious. They're getting numbers forward, which has helped them generate some strong chances. The crossbar, that near one that, if connected, could have been a goal. But that's also what's led to Sporting JAX getting some opportunities in transition, because Spokane's not staying home as much. They're taking the risk, as we see that foul, taking the risk to get numbers forward. So if you're Spokane, you're playing with fire a little bit. It's working offensively, but it is leading to some struggles defensively since they're not keeping as many home. So it's making it difficult defensively in transition.
Reese Tappan leads the team in minutes among field players. Also in clearances and in blocks. She is an Iron Woman in 25-26. Tappan plays it in. And that's over everybody and out for a goal kick, a missed opportunity. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food. Open 7 days a week.
Well, I know Tori Zerenberg told us at halftime they need to make sure to be patient offensively for Spokane to get numbers forward. And they knew they were capable of possession. We're seeing that now. They're doing a better job getting numbers forward. But look at the space it's opening up defensively. That's been tough for them to make up.
Puerta's been quiet tonight. She cuts it across. Blocked away. Puerta lets that roll out for an ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club.
A lot of transition play that we're getting, and Spokane does a good job racing back to slow that one down, but unable to keep it from this corner kick opportunity.
Off the corner, a lot of contact as Roberts went down. And we'll have our first substitution of the match. Charlie Boone exits, Sarah McCoy comes on.
Sarah McCoy comes on with some instruction as well of some minor tweaks. Was someone that in the past for them played in more of that center back role in their 4-back, as you see her take the middle position of this 3-back for them.
Thomas, Fontenot. Fontenot curls right to Parks.
It has been quite a race forward in transition for Sporting JAX.
DeSmit, busy, DeSmit just missed. There have been some real close calls for both sides in this second half, Renee.
Things have definitely opened up. Bailey DeSmit working 1v1 up against Haley Thomas, and then curls that one, nearly able to get it to tuck in that back post. That was inches away from a second goal. Both teams trading chances back and forth. And I said it before, the difference that I'm seeing that's massively opening things up, Spokane is not keeping as many players home defensively. They're keeping only a couple players back, which I think is smart offensively. Take the risks. You need to win this game. But the big but is that it's leaving a massive opportunity for Sporting JAX to get forward. It's 2v2 a lot in transition for Sporting JAX.
This type of game flow certainly does favor the visitors. But again, you think of the element of elevation and how that might wear on them as this match grows. As Puerta, well defended. Really nice job there by Tappan, but then Puerta on the turn. Got to be careful. Committing the foul in the area. I think Puerta was looking for the whistle, and that deflects last off of Spokane. It's an ICCU corner.
Definitely have to be smart here so you're not giving up any opportunities. Reese Tappan defending Ashlyn Puerta. Puerta just taking her time, changing directions, quick pullback, going the other way, driving towards goal. And you saw some arm jockeying. That's one area that you have to be smart, that you don't draw any fouls in or around the box.
Bowman to play the corner in, drives it. And got a piece. Good little head fake. Felicia Knox on it in transition. Knox slows it down. Hughes patrolling. That was dangerous. Scan the QR code for your chance to win a $100 gift card to Rosauer Supermarkets, official grocery store of your Spokane Velocity and Zephyr FC. Caitlin Parks was beat in the 12th minute on an absolute howler from Tori Zerenberg. And then Sophia Bowman scored for the second time this season against Spokane to level things up in the 36th. That's where we've stood since. Crowd here does not like that whistle.
Caitlin Parks has been so active off her line to be an option and helping with distribution out of the back for Sporting JAX. Gets the foul there. Something I actually want to make a note of, though, to keep an eye on. I know head coach Stacey Ballum talked to us about the way that they're intentionally easing Parker Roberts back into play, coming off of an ACL that she's had suffered in preseason. She's not cleared to go 100%, or they don't want to force her 100%.
Oh, great nudge ahead. It's Hansen. Hansen going around Parks. She was taken down, and a point to the spot. A yellow shown to Parks. And a massive opportunity for Spokane Zephyr as we close in on the 70-minute mark.
This is a big game-changing play. Good touch through to be able to find none other than Maya Hansen, who's been one of the playmakers for Spokane today. That's a great feed forward to be able to find Hansen, and then that touch around off of Rapp's pass does set up for the foul to be drawn, the yellow card to be issued, and the penalty kick. This game's been opening up so much. This is a huge chance for Spokane.
Spokane as a team 2 for 2 on PKs this season to give them the lead. Parks denies. Sent out in front, and they score! Jaskinek denied on the PK, but on the follow-up, she slots it home, and Spokane Zephyr are back in the lead.
What just happened? Cat Rapp through to Maya Hansen, who takes a toucher on Parks, is fouled, and then Emma Jaskinek steps to the spot. The PK denied, but then here comes Tori Zerenberg off of the rebound, first to that ball, first time slots it back to none other than Emma Jaskinek, whose first penalty kick was denied, but the second chance could not be delayed, not denied. Spokane able to score and retakes the lead 2-1.
Great job by Jaskinek to keep her composure after being denied on the PK. Third goal of the season for Jaskinek. How about Tori Zerenberg? A goal and an assist. And Spokane are about 20 minutes away from a league-shattering win on this Sunday evening.
Josh, I'm hyped up right now. That was an intense sequence of events that just happened on both sides. But when you look at what that led to, we highlighted Tori Zerenberg in the open for Spokane. She's making us look great because she's doing a phenomenal job with a goal and an assist. But Maya Hansen also.
This is a Sporting JAX side that have rarely allowed more than one goal in a match this season. In fact, they haven't done it since that 4-2 defeat at the end of October as Puerta launches. That takes a deflection. Sporting JAX says that should be a corner, and it will be an ICCU corner kick. Your Financial Success Fan Club.
And let me be clear, I'm hyped up because as a former goal scorer, I just love to see goals and action happen. And this second half has delivered and fit the bill. Both teams, we've seen several corner kicks. Here comes another for Sporting JAX. Several good chances, a post, a goal, just back and forth it's been. And both of these teams that are very strong defensively, we know what Sporting JAX can do offensively. Spokane has been matching their intensity the second half.
Short on the corner, right back, it's flown in. And a whistle and a break for Spokane.
Somehow an offside call on that. Definitely helps bail Spokane out, and they're able to take their time on this, which, to be honest, after the chaos that just ensued around the goal and then you give up a quick corner kick, you need this chance to catch your breath.
Remember, Sporting JAX, they've only lost 4 times this season. Their last loss, it sparked the current 7-game unbeaten streak that they're on. Only conceded 3 goals coming into this match as Sporting JAX makes its first change. Andrea Fernandez on. Zerenberg comes off to a massive round of applause. She's replaced by Kelsey Euler. Lena Solano on for Cat Rapp as well. Those are the 2 changes for Spokane Zephyr. And Andrea Fernandez comes on for Parker Roberts for Sporting JAX.
Well, as the penalty kick was unfolding, that's actually what I was talking about. Parker Roberts' minutes were winding down since Coach Stacey Ballin mentioned around 70 minutes is the target of where she's ready to play.
Goal kick coming. At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals.
Well, we're seeing the intensity as soon as Ashlyn Puerta defensively put in the work to help get that goal kick. Immediately reset, got started. So Sporting JAX wasting no time, playing very urgently.
Kenton gets there, fires right at Heisey.
And here's the key, as we're now at a 2-1 scoreline for Sporting JAX. If they're going to continue to play urgently, which they should, for Spokane, they have to make sure to play smart. Time favors you. You're in the lead, and even there, Lena Solano slowed down on that throw-in. You don't have to play as quick. So you've got Sporting JAX playing quick. If you're Spokane, take your time, because the last thing you want is a mistake, an error, because you're playing too fast versus taking care of this 1-goal lead.
Euler had the old goal against Dallas. Hoping to rebound tonight. Put her defensive efforts towards protecting this 2-1 lead.
And this is huge for Spokane, because as you talk about that own goal, that's something I'm sure they were trying to forget. A really disappointing loss, because it felt like there were a lot of weird things that happened in that game on own goal. A goalkeeper assist, some posts, but they were on the wrong side of those weird plays and unlucky plays. So today's a day for them to reset, and it'd be very fitting to be able to do that against the top team in the league.
The Gainbridge Super League playoffs are about a month away, and we are tracking all the possible scenarios. You can visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter to get updates on your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox. Well, we know that 3 of the 4 tickets have been punched. Sporting JAX, Lexington, and as of earlier today, Carolina Ascent, and their 1-0 win over Dallas Trinity. So because of that, Tampa Bay Sun still alive mathematically. Sporting JAX cannot clinch home field just yet. And Spokane, if this result holds, will move within 3 of Dallas Trinity for that 4th and final playoff spot. Hansen keeps possession. Now it's Jaskinek. She has the go-ahead. That was just mishandled by Katie Murray. DeSmit. Great defensive play.
Again, Sporting JAX playing so quickly, getting numbers forward, playing urgently. They've been finding good success getting forward, but getting caught in transition.
Here's Solano. Quiet second half of the season for her. Murray. Fontenot. Trades with Murray again. Fontenot on it one more time. She curls. And Solano went down. And it's all the way out for a throw to Sporting JAX as they are in search of an equalizer. Spokane content to be patient with it. And as I say that, try and force a pass. But Tappan able to recover. Hughes has space on that left wing. Hughes. Now Philpotts. Puerta, the last player you want to see in this spot. Oh, her shot was deflected. It never got through. That's the last player Spokane wanted to see closing in on Hope Heisey.
Ashlyn Puerta able to turn the corner and attack towards goal. And a good possession there by Sporting JAX just to be patient. That's something they do so well. Yes, they're playing urgently as they're trailing by 1, but they still have to be able to decipher when to play quick versus when to put their foot on it and make the extra pass. Well, that extra pass set this up. Ashlyn Puerta to be able to turn, get around Felicia Knox and attacking Hope Heisey one-on-one. And then Hope Heisey with save number 148
2 away
to keep this lead. I'm sure she'd like to, it's one of those things, you want the record, but you don't want to have to see any shots come your way.
Sporting JAX still in possession. Shot from the top of the area right at Hope Heisey. There's 149.
On the brink of history. Hope Heisey. Again, I feel like it alternates well, though. The previous shot was one that was terrifying for anybody on Spokane, whereas that one was a little bit easier. But a lot of shots. It took until the second half for her to actually have a true logged save. Sporting JAX continues this uptick of shots on frame.
Thomas. Towards goal. Parks punched it away, not sure she had to, and it results in an ICCU corner for Spokane Zephyr.
Well done there by Spokane. Just a heads-up play to be able to try to sneak that one over Caitlin Parks, who was a bit off her line. Just Parks able to retreat so well and get a glove on it. As we get ready to see this corner kick, again, the difference of players like Emma Jaskinek, Felicia Knox out of the midfield. Tori Zerenberg, while she was on the pitch, was already so actively involved, but we've seen so much more. Ginger Fontenot, another. The midfield presence for Spokane has really helped elevate their play in this second half to have better numbers, better options, and better chances.
Knox to play it in. High floater, and it goes for naught. There's a whistle for a foul before the ball even landed. Another substitution for Sporting JAX. Out comes Paige Kenton, and Jade Pennock comes on for Sporting JAX. Pennock scored the first goal in club history all the way back in the fall. 49 goals later, they lead the league in their inaugural season. Their 7-match unbeaten streak is on the line over the next 9 minutes plus stoppage time. Can Spokane hang on and hand Sporting Jacksonville just its second loss in 12 road games and 5th loss overall this season? They have not lost in the spring. Puerta takes away. He's looking for DeSmit.
You just see Spokane doing a good job getting numbers behind the ball, dropping everyone in, getting compact, and then the help defense has been there.
Service comes in, Heisey jumps, collides with one of her defenders, but catches anyways. Her Thomas, her captain, quite all right.
A little friendly fire there, but the good thing was Thomas was helping to protect Hope Heisey as she came off her line and snagged that one out of the air.
Fontenot. Hughes got to that throw in first, but Fontenot able to win it back. Solano. Lena Solano spins, shoots, blocked. Long direction of Pennock, but it rolls all the way to Heisey.
Here for Spokane, immediately instructing to allow that one to go through to Hope Heisey to save it, to be able to also take her time to scoop it up. This is where for Spokane, some of that defensive prowess. Again, they came in with 7 shutouts, a tough team to score on. Have to show some of that defensive ability now to close out this 2-1 lead.
No easy task against the highest scoring and first place team in Gainbridge Super League and Sporting JAX. That's handled by Solano. In the 84th minute, Spokane can almost taste it. Into the middle it comes. Jaskinek, who has the go-ahead goal. Stopped on the PK. Zerenberg facilitated the cross on the follow-up. Jaskinek did not miss there. Euler, what a move. Euler, advantage played. The cross for Solano, deflected away towards Hughes.
This is where there's plenty of time left for Sporting JAX. They don't have to rush it. You do want to play urgent, of course, but you have to also take care of the ball to make the most of your chances as you're getting forward. Every turnover, every chance you allow Spokane to do exactly this, just drift into wide areas, run time off the clock, it's a disadvantage to you.
That will be an ICCU corner.
Looks like it's Casey Smeckrud who's down getting stretched.
Sporting JAX also preparing a substitution. Bailey DeSmit will come out in a moment in favor of Katie Sullivan.
I believe that was also Maya Hansen that was going up against Smekrud. Just a good aggressive play there to be able to work against that end line and get a corner kick out of this.
So we got an ICCU corner. Solano waiting on it, gets ahead. They'll have another one, but from the near side this time. Another ICCU corner coming.
Well, this is key. Another opportunity for Spokane. They can take their time. They can set up the second corner kick. They've run a good amount of time off the clock in this sequence between both corners. And of course, to add a little icing on the top, you get a chance to see if you can extend your lead and get an insurance goal here. So you want to really make sure you're not rushing, and if you can finish this.
The biggest upsets in the league if they can hang on this season. Header back across. That's through Murray. Euler keeps in. Out in front one more time. The header just over the bar from Jaskinek. Whoa, whoa. Solano and Parks collide. Caitlin Parks understandably not thrilled.
The tricky part is once Caitlin Parks is using her feet and playing as a field player, you can go contest her and get physical with her too.
Look out, Bowman, she has the goal. Oh, tried to back heel, Euler stepped up. Now it's Puerta, she launches high.
This is definitely one of those games for Sporting JAX, regardless of how this ends in the next few minutes, that they'll be able to look back on. I'm just hearing how they weren't happy even after a 4-1 win with conceding a goal to Fort Lauderdale. There's a lot they're going to be able to take back in terms of watching film. And these are the types of games that, to be honest, help build as you are a team fighting to and hoping to win a championship. These are the types of games you'll be able to look back on, much like that Lexington 4-2 loss, of a way that you were able to get exposed a little bit in some areas and things to learn from to make that championship push.
Two minutes before stoppage time. That's all that separates Spokane from a massive 3 points. Fontenot closing in on Hughes. Hughes went down. No foul. Pennock drags towards the middle. And that's over Puerta. That's the second consecutive game that Ashlyn Puerta has been pretty quiet for Sporting JAX.
That's a good point. We saw her one good chance in the second half that she drove towards the near post, 1v1 going up against Hope Heisey, but they haven't been able to find her enough in dangerous pockets. She's been helping with small passes to combine up the field, but defensively, Spokane's really been in her back pocket.
It's played for Heisey, who clears.
Well, Spokane coming into today winless in their last 3 games. Of course, one of those games was that 1-1 draw against Sporting JAX. This will be a very timely time to break that winless skid.
Euler with the foul. Free kick coming. Sporting JAX will bring numbers forward. Down 2-1. Back in the 69th minute, Emma Jaskinek. Tori Zerenberg, the difference as it stands. Whipped in. Deflected. Cleared away by Knox. Solano. Great touch. Philpotts comes over to cut her off. Solano nearly won it back. That's last touch. by Spokane, so a throw in for Sporting JAX.
Great work right there by Solano. We've seen her a couple possessions, the one pressuring Caitlin Parks, this time helping to build up field. This is what she needs. She's got fresh legs, hasn't played the entire game as a second half sub, and now can help you close out this game.
3 minutes of second half stoppage time presented by Rosauer Supermarkets. That's all that separates Spokane from a massive 3 points. Spokane content to take its time. Just an excellent performance to this point. They can pull within 3 points of Dallas for the 4th and final playoff spot and end the 7-game unbeaten streak for Sporting JAX. But you know the #1 team in the league is not going to go away quietly.
Not at all. This is going to be a long 3 minutes of stoppage time. You look, again, the urgency's still there, as it should be for Sporting JAX, and Spokane needing to defend with everything they've got.
Look out here. Sophia Jones. Hughes plays it across. It deflects. Oh, my. That nearly went for Sporting JAX. Jade Pennock nearly leveled.
A good ball out wide to Meg Hughes. First time service, and look how close Jade Pennock was to tying this game up. A curling one does a good job. She just helped it along with the service from Meg Hughes. Didn't have to take a touch or anything. The execution, though, for Sporting JAX, they've been all around the goal today. Services, corner kicks, shots. Just has been something that's been a struggle today for being a bit more clinical to finish those chances.
Will that be the last and best chance that Sporting JAX finds here in stoppage time?
Definitely feels like that could be the last dagger. How about Spokane? It feels like they essentially weathered the storm, rope-a-dope to the first half to just get through it, and then really pick things up in the second half, playing more aggressively, pushing numbers forward.
They've been the better team in the second half. They've had more possession. They've got more shot attempts. The XG is higher. Sporting JAX just a .34 XG in the second half, as a free kick will be on its way from Spokane. And all that we wait on is the final whistle from our referee, Kelsey Harms.
Well, Meg Hughes has to be careful there. Just picked up the yellow and then was caught in that foul again seconds later. You don't want anything from this game to spill over into the next one with a red card. But to your point, Spokane definitely has been the better team in this second half. And that's something that for head coach Nicole Lukic, they've talked about. They have the ability to play with the top teams in the league, but it just hasn't been consistent enough that that's what's caused them to drop results.
And there is the final whistle. A statement win for Spokane Zephyr. They pull within 3 points of the final playoff spot, and they end Sporting JAX' 7-game unbeaten streak. What a performance for Nicole Lukic's side.
Watch out, Spokane closing out their regular season at home. This could be trouble for everyone coming into this stadium. A fantastic job. You just see Nicole Lukic immediately celebrating with the fans, with the team. This was a group effort, a team effort to get this big win today. We knew all that was up for grabs in terms of playoff positioning. And with a 3-game drought, winless, Spokane pieced it all together for a fantastic 2-1 win.
And as you mentioned, final 4 matches for Spokane will be all at home. Tonight's play of the match is brought to you by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Emma Jaskinek denied on the PK. And then she gets the feed out in front from Tori Zerenberg. And that is the game winner. Zerenberg a goal and an assist. And the assist to Jaskinek for the victory.
Well done by Emma Jaskinek and Spokane. Created chances. We saw them hit a post. We saw them have a number of opportunities and were able to get one to go.
This was the third and final meeting between the two sides. A 3-0 win for Sporting JAX, a 1-1 draw, and now a 2-1 win for Spokane Zephyr. We'll be joined by Emma Jaskinek when we return to One Spokane Stadium.
Yeah.
Spokane Zephyr victorious 2-1 over the #1 team in Gainbridge Super League, Sporting JAX. Josh Appel, Renee Washington, and we're now joined by Emma Jaskinek, who had the winner in the second half. Emma, congratulations on the win. Just take us through that moment, being able to stick with the play after the letdown, of course, of being denied on the PK. A great feedback to you by Tori, and just kind of what you saw on that play.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, I think it was a huge team win. I think every person on this team did exactly what we needed them to do today to get the win. And I think in that moment, when I stepped up to take the PK, I think the keeper had a good save. And where she hit it, I saw Tori had the step on the girl, and she just slotted it right back. And I just sat in front of the goal because I was like, it's got to come back to me because I know we're going to win this game. And it landed right at my foot. Tori had the perfect pass, and I just put it in the back of the net.
Emma, the entire second half, you guys looked completely different in terms of play. What was the difference from the first half to the second half for today's win?
Yeah, I think coming out here against the #1 team, you know it's going to be a battle, and I think the first half we were just getting our feet underneath us, and I think we had a solid performance, but I knew we had more in us, and when we came out in the second half, I think all the pieces just came together, and I think it's no surprise that we need 3 points out of these games, and I think the team really showed up and showed out in the second half knowing that we had to get that win.
4 games remaining before the end of the regular season. All 4 matches will be right here in Spokane. What's that advantage do for you guys, and how do you keep this momentum rolling?
Yeah, I think first off, the travel to get all the way out here is pretty brutal. So I think right then and there, just from a physical aspect, that'll give us an advantage. But I think the fans in Spokane are unmatched. I think the atmosphere of the stadium with the stands being so close, like you can really feel the energy that the fans bring us. And we love it here in Spokane. So I think just protecting our home field and being able to gain momentum here in Spokane is going to be huge for us.
Well, Emma, congratulations on the win and the goal. Thanks so much for spending time with us here post-game. Go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. That's Emma Jaskinek, the game-winning goal in the second half as we take a look back at our
As she mentioned, she noticed Tori Zerenberg had the ball, trusted her teammate, got the spot, and then was able to finish the second one.
So here are the up-to-the-minute standings in Gainbridge Super League. Top three have all clinched a playoff spot. Carolina 1 point back of Lexington. Those two clubs still have an outside shot of taking over that 1 seed from Sporting JAX, but the race for the 4th and final playoff spot is heating up. Everybody still mathematically alive to get that final playoff spot. Spokane and DC level at 29 points apiece. Dallas Trinity barely hanging on right now.
Yeah, with Dallas Trinity losing to Carolina earlier today, Spokane said thank you very much and then added another 3 points on top of that. The exact result you wanted for Spokane as a team hungry to get above that playoff line at this stretch of season at home to win when it matters most.
A statement win tonight that'll make even the youngest fans celebrate. Spokane Zephyr with a win that'll create shockwaves around Gainbridge Super League. They take down the #1 side, Sporting JAX, by a final of 2-1. For our producer, Maria Ringo, my broadcast partner, Renee Washington, and our entire crew, this is Josh Appel saying so long from Spokane. Zephyr with a massive 3 points. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.